All right. Let's try this again. Hey guys, it's Eli, the Marfan homie. We are back. I'm only saying we're back because it's been a while since I have last recorded. In my first take, I was necessarily nervous, but yeah, I was nervous, so I wasn't recording, so we could just dish that one out. But how have you guys been? And if I'm on camera, if you see me on camera, yes, I'm ashy. Didn't put on lotion today. Went to the gym, got out the shower, went to bed. But yeah, man, everything has been good on my end. It's been a while since I have last recorded by myself. So this is feeling a little new again. I had to test out the equipment, make sure it still worked, brush the dust off the mic, as you can hear and see. But other than that, I am glad to be here. I'm glad to bring you guys back another episode. So let's give a round of applause. Um, but like I said, man, it's been a while. But like I said, I've conducted some. Well, this is my first one being back in a quite little while recording. The episodes before this are interview style. So, one episode was from the big sister perspective. Shout out to my big sis. Another round of applause. Um, Giving her standpoint on like what it was like, having a younger brother with Marfan syndrome, seeing it for the second time because I am not the first of my little family that has Marfans, and just what that was like, and just like I guess caring from a big sister perspective. And then my second interview, shout out to Miss Jamie. Um, Go ahead and listen to that if you haven't listened to it by now. By the time this comes out, you would have that episode will have come out. So I suggest you go back and listen to it. But to Miss Jamie, thank you. I'm not gonna say nothing about her episode, but again, if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. It was a great episode, so great that I had to split it into two parts, which again you should have seen if you are subscribed, following, and whatever else on social media. I appreciate you if you do. If you don't, go ahead and do it. If you don't want to, please do it. Pretty please, thank you. But today, what's today's episode about, guys? So, today is sports. After 3 heart surgeries, getting adapted again. Um, so yeah, this is a heavy topic. So why I put sports in quotations is because again, I'm not gonna say I'm like the most athletic person. I'm not gonna say that I'm unathletic or not athletic, but I could be better. Um, but I put it in quotes because again, like what I consider out, like I would like to do, like again, I don't jog, I don't run, I bike. Because again, I can go that long distance, and I feel like that's a better workout for me within my body and my heart. I have a basketball in my car. Do I ever play with it? I do. My next episode after this one I'll be talking about how I joined the gym and stuff like that, but we're gonna focus on the whole sports aspect of for today's episode. So let's get into it. So let's do a little recap. So what's happened since I last recorded? Um, Man, what's happened since I last recorded? I would say that a lot has happened. Do I remember? Should I have written? No. Do I remember? Should I have written it down? Yes. Um. So one thing, I guess I bought a bike. Uh, I bought a Ring doorbell. Um. Oh, if you guys have been following and listening, I remember when I was telling you guys I started something at work, like a program for like leadership and stuff. That program is finally over. We had our capstone presentation last week, and that will be like August something from when you guys hear this. Um but I'm so happy that was over. That was going from April up to now. But I'm happy that's over. And so now I am on a journey to get my CAP-M certification, which is a Certified Associate of Project Management. And then we'll see where my higher learning and higher education takes me after that. What else has happened since? Got a new eye doctor, so there's going to be another episode coming talking about my contact fitting or eye fitting experience and everything that's going along with that, because I had an appointment yesterday. Didn't really like the news that I was getting. More saddening than anything, but I guess makes for more content. So I'm going to talk about it. I can't remember anything else. Let's see. How's the month going? So this is the month of August. This is probably by far the hottest month since the summer has started. We've been seeing 110, 115. The feels like the actual temperature, the humidity's been crazy. What else? Oh yeah, shout out to my brother. He came at the beginning of August for my nephew's basketball tournament. That was fun. What else? What else? Whatever. Like I said, this month is hot. This month has been going good. Really can't complain. Uh, and I guess this month I discovered I had a gray hair growing out my nostrils. So, however you guys want to take that, that has also been happening in my life. How's work going? Like I said, I completed the leads program. Things are slowing down because we're doing like this big old thing with all of our data and we're migrating it. Yay! Applaud, applaud, applaud. But doing this thing at work, so work has been work. You know, I'll probably just take that segment out because who the hell cares? All right, let's jump into the meat. But before I jump into the meat, guys, I got to get up and check this camera for the people that are listening. I'm sorry for the people that are on the camera. 1 sec. All right, I'm back. And I'm going to edit that out on the video portion. But I'm not going to edit it out on the sound portion. And why am I telling you this? I have nothing else to do. But, yes, the meat portion of today's podcast. Like I said, today's title is Sports After 3 Heart Surgeries and Getting Adapted Again. So, again, having 3 heart surgeries, no, they weren't back to back. Like I said, like you guys probably heard, one was in 2012, one was in 2018, and the next one was in 2020. And I mean, again, after all of those, especially that big year gap between the first and the second one, I got adapted really well and things were taking its time. Between the second and the third one, I didn't have too much time, but it did. I did what I needed to do to get back, as I thought, to get back physically. And now after this 2021, again, I've been doing things physically, but when you introduce something new or like a new activity into your fitness, it tends to take a toll. So let's just say I did bungee fitness with my girlfriend, and that was a thing. I was sweating like crazy. It was fun. I suggest men and women go ahead and try it. If you have one in your city, bungee fitness is a thing to try. But like I said earlier, recently bought a bike. And so I gave away my old bike because I wanted to enter into this bike lifestyle even more and purchase a better build of a bike. From what I heard, the first brand that I bought, they were good in like the 70s and the 80s, and then they took a downward spiral and they were no longer good. So I kept it up, I rode it. It was a good first bike, then I gave it away. And then this past couple months or weeks, bought another bike from REI. Shouts out to them. They were very helpful. Every time I go inside that store, I definitely learn something new about biking or any other sport that they are happy to talk about. So yeah, I bought a bike, and let's just say the first ride was horrible. So no, that was the second ride. The first ride did it in the morning. I was like, oh, okay, I got this. When I say the sun takes a part of everything that you do, or takes a toll on everything that you do, So one day, my girlfriend and I decided, oh, let's ride our bikes after work. We was like, all right, bet, cool. She was like, let's go for 10 miles. I was like, all right, bet, cool. Man, I think by the fourth or fifth mile, dead in the sun, my body was entirely over it. I My heart rate was like at 200 ppms per minute. Everybody, if you don't have some type of heart monitor, Apple Watch, Fitbit, some type of smartwatch, get one. That's my highest suggestion. It was like 190, 180, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm gonna make it. My legs couldn't even pedal anymore. I tried switching through the gears to make things easier. Nope. What else happened? Uh, it was I took a break on the grass. I was tired. I was beat. But I think that also goes to like a part of like I just I tried to hop in there and do it, but again like uh introducing my body to something that I haven't done in a long time, I've noticed that my body just doesn't react well to that. And I would think that anybody does, but like I know for mine it just doesn't do very well with introducing like new activities out the blue. Like you can be mentally ready, but physically ready is another thing. So, and that's the thing. I can't wait to talk about this on the some of this on the gym episode. But it's a thing. So, but let me go in order of how I wrote it down. Right? I said LMAO. What are sports? So, like I said, sports for me are things that I can do, that I'm capable, that I feel that I'm capable of doing, and that I know that are building what's like internally and not necessarily killing me internally. So let's say biking, walking, fast-paced walking. I tried running before my surgery in 2018. I was able to get like a quarter mile in, but then after that, I might just start gasping for air. Now I'm be lucky if I could get point 0.1 of a mile in before my body just starts to tighten up. But I'm gonna get back to my quarter mile. I think that was very healthy for me. What other things? Okay, like not necessarily playing basketball team on teams, but like just shooting around the ball. If I miss it, chasing the ball, blah blah blah. I feel like that's a good way to again build your cardio, build your hand strength and stuff like that for anybody that's looking for activities to do such a thing. But like again, just activities that like in a non-competitive way that help you again become active and just build. So that's what I consider sports. And that's what I put. I put fatiguing activity, and I think that's what I meant. But yeah, so anything that you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel tired. Excuse me. You're going to feel tired. But that's just a given. But it's just again depending on the sport and like how much you can fight it. Just building your stamina, your breathing, controlling your breathing, trying to control your heart and stuff like that. That I think that's very necessary. So that's what I try to do when I'm either riding a bike, shooting the basketball, walking, and stuff like that. Is just trying to push my body in a way that it can go to new heights and I can feel again less fatigued or fatigued at a later time. Not even less fatigued, but fatigued at a later time. Then I put new sports, new bikes. So like I said, I bought some bikes. Learned a lot from the people down at REI. So if you have a REI in your town, city, state, country, go there, get a bike, learn as much as you can. I'm still learning stuff. There's these shoes that I want that I'm about to buy that'll help you stick to the pedal. Apparently, the Nikes that I have, the pedals are just eating them up. Um, I changed my seat. I bought my first pair of padded biking shorts. Didn't really think I was gonna do it, but I bought the mountain biking pair because I just can't get into the biking shorts thing just yet. But it's a full on thing, and I think the dude told us when we got the bikes, he was like, "Oh no, this is an expensive activity. You guys have gotten yourself into something." And I was like, "Man, damn it!" But no, it can get expensive. Like let's just say the bike that I had was 250. The bike that I just bought was 640. Um, The next bike I probably buy is probably going to be like an $800,000 bike. However, did y'all know they make carbon fiber bikes? Just go into a bike shop, ask them if they have carbon fiber bikes, and I'm telling you, you can lift it up with a finger. A finger. That's how light they are. And they make road bikes, mountain bikes, hybrid bikes, all types of bikes out of carbon fiber. It's crazy. But that's on another note. But learned a lot of stuff. But so even with that, like when I had my first bike, and when I say first bike, let's take a backstory. I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I moved to Texas. Let's say what year was that? Let's just say 2018. So I think I graduated when I was 22. So basically I learned before my 23rd birthday. So yeah, I didn't learn to ride a bike until I was 22. So my first bike is really my first bike as an adult, like my first bike. And the reason I would say one of the reasons I did not learn to ride a bike is because, my mom bought me a bike with training wheels, and I was outside trying to learn, had my big brothers and my big sisters and my mom all around me, and they let me go down the hill of the house we used to live in, and I crashed right dead into the garage. And from that point, never got back on the bike. And then when I did try to get back on the bike, my bike was basically stolen. They took the training wheels first, and then like one day I just got up and the whole bike was just gone. I was like, this is pitiful. But I would say that my mom did try. A round of applause to her. But so one day, this is when I lived in Fort Worth. One day, there was outdoor and ski. They taught me how to ride a bike in the parking lot. One day, drove by, saw that they were having a bike sale. I got out the car, and they was like, "Oh, you looking for a bike?" And I was like, "I actually don't know how to ride one." They was like, "Well, you're gonna learn today." So they took a bike off the little thing, one that set for my frame, and I learned so much about like bikes and their frames and their size. So basically, I learned how to ride a bike in like less than an hour, and he taught me how to turn, taught me how to just like basically use the brakes, and I was like, all this in 1 hour compared to a lifetime of just being ignorant and keeping it a secret. Like my whole life, it was a secret. Like when everybody would bring up the topic of bikes, I would just walk out the room, which is crazy. But again, now you know more about me. The Marfan homie didn't learn how to ride a bike until he was 22, but now he's buying bikes and still needs a little bit of training. But for the most part, he's got it. Yay! What else? So yeah, new routes. So basically, when I lived in Fort Worth with my first bike, I was like riding around the neighborhoods. Never. The one day I went to the trail, I think I biked like 10 to 20 miles, and I know that's a big gap, but I honestly think it was like 20 miles. It was called I think that was like Trinity Trails or something like that. And you know, for anybody that lives over there in that area that's listening or whatnot, you know that trail goes on forever. It goes from like Timbuktu to Timbuktu. Like it's a long trail. But now that I'm staying here in Dallas, there's a couple different trails. There's a couple different like biking communities. There's a couple different like everything. And so I use the trail now, and I try to get a good anywhere from 6 to 10 miles in. Like the other morning, I did 10 miles. So even with that, I'm starting to incorporate that into my my workout routine as far as like getting up in the morning and biking. I know it's about to start getting cold, probably like next month or October or something. So, but even then, plan on buying like a little headlight, turn that on so it's only like dark for like the first 30 minutes. But just basically biking in the morning as opposed to biking in the sun, because I'd rather build my endurance slow and steady without the sun than just kill myself in the sun. So, but No, so I use the trails out here in Dallas. I heard that the trail around what is Garland, whatever lake is in Garland. They said that's a good 10-mile trail. It's 10 miles all the way around. So yeah, that was good. So it says how long since I rode a bike. So yeah, so again, I bought my bike in 20. I bought my first bike in 2018, and then I had a surgery later that year. And then to start riding that bike again, I actually tried before I moved to Dallas, but I was winded. So like I said, I gave that bike away. I think 2 years ago, or like a year and a half ago. Gave it away. Said I'm just gonna buy a new bike. I bought a new bike. So at this point, I think 2021 is around the time I probably gave my bike away. So I bought this new bike, and now I'm honestly just learning. I'm learning about it, keeping it clean and stuff like that. But I'm really just telling y'all this. It's like it's in my mind. It says what happened to my last bike. Like I said, I gave it away. How much I man. Well, this is gonna be a quick episode the way I'm just talking about this stuff. But so now I have these bikes. My apartment that I live in has like a little bike garage, so you get to like go in and like plant your bike. Um, oh, it said how much did I spend on the bike? The quality of the bike, and I still didn't get what I wanted. So my first bike had a front suspension. Um, this second, though, this new bike didn't, and I told him as soon as I went in. This is why I don't like making haste decisions because typically you don't get what you want. I told him I wanted a front suspension. I didn't get a front suspension. I got a good quality bike. It's just not. It wasn't front suspension, and most of the bikes they had for that brand, the front suspension only came that were like basically in stock were for mountain bikes. But I enjoy the front suspension. It's really absorbent. Going over speed bumps, going over like little knickknacks in the ground and stuff like that. Real good when it comes to bikes. Um, let's go back to the fatiguing portion. Or as the next question goes, what are your goals with the bikes? So my goals with the bike is to basically build more endurance, go further distances, build more stamina, find a comfortable seat to where I can actually want to keep biking. But for the most part, I'm again a leg power, hip power, all that is what I'm looking for as far as like uh biking goes. I want to bike over more aggressive hills. I don't think I'm gonna get into mountain biking. That's a little intense. From the stories that I hear, I'm good on it. Um, but I do want to get into like again more intensive hills, city biking and stuff like that. Just like biking through the city. I want to again my balance is one thing. I do want to focus on my balance. Get a good start on my bike. Again, there's more practice that I need. Like again, I haven't been. I'm not one of the people that's been riding bikes for years. Um, so it's just like there's tricks to the trade that I have not learned yet. And to be quite frank, I just learned how. And it shouldn't have been like a learning process, but I just learned how to stand on the pedals while the bike is moving. And to some people, that may be like, dude, you just learned that. To me, I'm just like, oh, I'm the shit. Like, so again, call me nerdy, call me whatever, but that was probably one of the coolest things to me. I'm still learning to try to balance myself with just one hand on the bike. But again, I mean, whatever these things are that come natural to people, I have to just put in that extra work. So it is what it is, or I don't know. Maybe something's off in my brain to where I just can't let go. But so again, slowly but surely, like I'm just trying to build that power that I need in my body, in my legs, stuff like that. Um, how far do I want to be able to go compared to how far I used to be able to go? All right, so now let's take that, right? I believe I want. to go longer than 10 miles. I want to go longer than 15 miles. Um, the only thing is beating the sun. uh, but that's the thing, right? So as I'm trying to build to go these greater distances, um, this is why the gym episode goes hand in hand. But and you guys will hear that after this episode. But I'm building my muscles and my power to help me go those greater distances. I'm figuring out the gears to help me go further and be lighter on a straightaway on the bike and things of that nature, because it's it it it's a learning process. Like I said, if 10 miles is what I did a couple days ago, I want to be able to go 15 by next week. 12 to 15 by next week. And then after that, I'm shooting for 15 to 18. Then after that, I'm shooting for 18 to 20. I want to be able to do 20 miles probably by the end of this year. So if I could get 20 miles by the end of this year, I would say that my year is complete. Um, so if I could get 20 miles by the end of the year, that'll be complete. With the cold and all, I'll just wear some clothes. But no, we're gonna go biking. Jack Frost is gonna be nipping at my nose, my fingers, and everything. And probably before it gets that cold, let's go say a good 16 miles. If I could get a good 16 miles before the end of the year or before the cold comes, I'll be happy with that. So that's my commitment. I gotta keep practicing. I think so right now I have my workouts on like this 2 week rotation. I think I might start putting my workouts on a 3 week rotation. Um just because just because I need to put these my workouts on a 3 week rotation. So looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that, because I got to incorporate more cycling in the mornings and stuff like that. And again, I want to get quicker times too. If it's taking me longer than 5 minutes for a mile, I'm doing something wrong. Or longer than whatever it takes another cycler to complete a mile, I'm doing something wrong. Because right now I think for my 10 mile, I'm at 45. Well, let's say 50 minutes. I'm at 50 minutes for my 10 mile. I want to be at like 12 miles by 50 minutes or something like that. I got to work it out. So those are my goals: longer distances, less fatigue, more endurance, more stamina, more strength. That's all I'm really trying to get out of this whole biking experience, for real. Um so what's next? How does biking substitute running for me? So like I said a little bit earlier, as the more I think about it, I have my muscles. Let's take no. My muscles, they are trying to work together politely. Um it's just I think it's also mental too, but think of that, like I've been through, like I can't my quarter mile, like the quarter mile that I was able to run, I can't do it anymore. It's like my body just starts to constrict and tighten. So I think that like applying the biking will help like my body. Like again, people that run, they work out their legs, and they're obviously working out their heart and their lungs at the same time. I think that the bike is a good substitute for me to for that, because I'm doing the same thing. Um, I'm constantly pedaling, constantly trying to control my breathing, constantly trying to keep my heart rate down. And I notice the longer or the better I do over and over again, my heart rate starts to go down. So I think I'm winning. So again, I don't think I'll ever be like a runner, but I do want to be like a biker. A biker that goes great distances. Like I want to be a bike like I want to be a biker. No, not a biker boy or the motorcycle movie, whatever. But like I think I want to be like a good biker to where it's like, oh, I can do 20 miles in the morning and feel great and not feel tired, go back, take a shower, eat some food, and just not feel bad, or my body not feel bad. Um does that answer it? Yeah, so it's good. It's the same sort of the same what you're using. It's just different application. Like with running, you're taking the weight of yourself. With biking, you're taking the weight or the gravity of the hill that you're trying to go up. So it's there's a trade off, but either way it goes, I know that I will get more out of biking than I will running, just because how my body reacts to when it starts moving at paces like those. But I will say that I want the biking to help me get back to me being able to run a quarter mile. Um, and again, that might not seem like a lot to y'all, but that's enough for me. um, so yeah. What health benefit? And I'll say mental too. Let's go back to this though. What health benefit do you get from biking? Like I said, you're building power in your legs. Well, let's classify the leg, right? You're building power in your calves. You ever seen a biker's calves? Their calves are huge. You're building power in your calves. You're building power in your quads. You're building power in your hamstrings. It's all a rotating motion. It's like leg press. It's all a rotating motion or just a group motion. Um, and eventually, for all the ladies out there, it does help you develop somewhat of a buttocks, a gluteus maximus. Um, excuse me, sorry. Then if you're looking to lose weight or gain muscle, it does help with those two things as well. Just depends on how much work you put in before and after and during. So, but for me, like I said, I'm building whatever muscle is gonna build on top of me at this point. Um, like I said, I want to build my legs up. Even this morning at the gym, I got a good workout. Today was the first day that I got back to leg pressing. Um, yeah, that I got back to linear leg pressing. Let's get that straight. So again, I loaded up the weights, got it down right now. So apparently some people count the machine as like the weight, as like I was ever lifted weights, ever bench pressed or anything. I never counted them. Like some people like say the bar is like 20, 25 pounds. I don't know if you're supposed to count that or not. Leave it in the comments if you count like the weight of the machine. But today, so let's say if you count the weight of the machine, I think the weight of the machine was like 25 pounds as you practice with. And of course, basically I had the 180. So basically I had two 45 plates on each side. So that's 180. And if you count the 25, that's 205. But my ultimate goal by the end of let's say next week is to be able to leg press my body weight. Of course, again, everything of what they say in certain doses that you have to be able to do your body weight. I'm not bench pressing my body weight, too much strain on my heart. However, I will leg press my body weight because I just know that that part of my anatomy is a little bit stronger. Um, Back to this. What health benefit? Basically, building up my body, building up my from the bottom up. So I do other exercises to work from the top down, but this one is gonna go from the bottom up, internally and aesthetically and stuff like that. But that's what I'm looking to do. Mentally, it's soothing. Mentally, riding a bike is probably one of the most soothing things that I know I do. Um, Whether I'm listening to music or just honestly being hit by the wind. The wind is going to be crazy, and I know as the cooler months come, that's going to be even more like mind clarifying for me, and I'm looking forward to it. Um, what about the things? What? Hold on. Oh, yeah, that says, what about all the things that I learned embarking on this journey again? I thought that said like embarrassing. I can't even read my own handwriting. So like I said, I learned about different type of pedals, different type of shoes, padded butt shorts, bibs. I didn't even know what a bib was, but bibs are cool. I can't wait to purchase my first bib. It's basically like a what's that shit the wrestlers wear? Basically, if you ever watch wrestling and you seen like the Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Uh, I think those are the only two. And cane. If you see like what they wear, but these were like short bibs, and they had pads for your butt. Cause man, sitting on a bike seat is Um, I learned about the different type of seats, the different type of handlebars. What else did I learn about? Um, Suspension forks. I learned that suspension forks can go up to like $1,000 for a freaking bike. So imagine, I paid like a little over $1,000 for the suspension on my freaking car, and you're telling me a suspension fork for a bike can cost up to $1,000? It's crazy. What else did I learn? What else did I learn? Shoes, handlebars, brakes, seats, apparel. Um, Uh, I learned about greasing the chain, keeping the chain lubricated and dirt free. I cleaned my chain the other day, and I would say I'm good for another month, so that's good. Um, However, I do think by the end of next month I'll be due for a tune-up for my bike. Um, Whatever that consists of, whether that's like dusting off the brakes, whatever it is, I don't even know. Um, all in all, I would say that just picking up a new sport in general or a new activity, new hobby, you're bound to learn a lot. So like I said, I learned about the hobby again, all those things, shoes, apparel, this, that, and the third. Um, Frame sizes, wheel sizes. But as far as like what I've learned, as far as like connecting it with Marfans and stuff like that, is it's a good exercise. It's a good building exercise. It doesn't take much. You get the right seat. Again, if you in it, the less pain you're in, the further you'll be able to go. And that's what I'm noticing as well. Because as I got the padded shorts and I changed my seat out, um, I was in less pain. When I learned how to stand up and give my butt a rest, I was in less pain. Um, so with any activity, any physical, quote, quote, physical activity, learn learn everything about it and learn what it does to your body and learn how you can apply it to your day to day. And that's not even my words of advice. That was just free, so check that. But learn learn what it can do for you, learn what you can do for it, and just learn about everything about it. Um let's see. What's the one more thing? I realize a lot of extracurricular activities can get expensive. Hell yeah. Like I said, dudes was like, oh, this is expensive. So the seat that I bought is probably not even the most expensive seat you could buy, but I think the seat was like $50. The helmets, oh my gosh, helmets can get up to like $300. Did you guys know that? Helmets can get up to and past $300. The last helmet I bought was probably like $60. The helmet that I got my eyes on now is like 80. I'm gonna get that on Friday. Well, I gotta order it. Um, but helmets can get up to 300 plus bucks. Bikes can get up to $5,000, whether they're an e-bike or a carbon fiber bike. That's why you don't see too many people, commoners, with uh uh carbon bikes. Uh, what else? This is some shit that I saw in the REI store alone. The little bike stands that you could get for the back of your car. One of them cost 600. I think the most expensive one they had in REI at the time was $600. I looked online. You could get one for like $1,000, $1,500. I'm just like, Jesus, they put my little bike rack that I bought off of Facebook Market to shame. Um, what else? Yeah, your shoes. Your shoes can get anywhere from 800, yeah, $80 to $200. Um, I learned about clicking in and all that. What else? There's just know it can get expensive. Like the handlebars. I saw, I think the one of the pedals. They sell pedals one at a time. I saw one pedal for $50. I went in there, asked the question. I'm pretty sure that's not even the most expensive pedal they had. Um, but no, man. Again, you learn, and then the quality, again, what the bike that you're building, treat it like you're building a car. Like, that's what I looked at it as they were like talking and I was learning. I was just like, oh, if I treat this like how I build my SUV, it's the same thing. So now if I'm building this bike, yeah, there's no suspension on it, but I'm gonna do things to still make my ride as comfortable as possible. But yeah, man, it's whew, I can imagine like picking up another hobby like say like canoeing or freaking e-biking. I know there's probably like a e-biking group and they're just out there. Um, what else can I say about biking? It's good for the body, it's good for the mind, it's good for the soul, it's good for the mental, it's good for the physical. And I would highly recommend it even if you have Marfans. Highly recommend it if you don't to do it. Highly recommended to do it if you have Marfans. Like I said, it's easy. It's easy on the body if you can not getting like beat up by the sun. It's easy on the body. Um, and it helps you build that lower body muscle that I know some of us it's a little bit harder to build and maintain. Um, what else? And again, you can get a bike depending on your of course your size and your age, anywhere from $100 to $500. You don't have to go out and get like an expensive bike. Walmart and probably Academy has exactly what you need. The only reason I went to REI is because I was trying something new and it wasn't my first bike. But if you have any questions about the bike that I do own, comment down below, contact me. I can send you pictures and tell you all about it. Um, but no, man, I highly recommend biking, especially if you're trying to build that lower body. Um, and just have fun overall. Get out the house and whatever else the case may be. Will I be riding it after I finish recording this podcast? No. Will I ride it Saturday morning this weekend? Yes. Will I be riding it in between then? Maybe. We'll see what my schedule looks like. But let's go. We're gonna wrap this up. Today was a quick episode. I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy you guys are tuning in and listening. Um, yeah. So, words of advice: pick up a sport or hobby that helps you build your stamina and lung capacity. So, like I said, that's what biking is basically doing for me. Um, I'll read it again, then I'll explain. Pick up a sport or hobby that helps you build your stamina and lung capacity. Um, the longer the basically the more stamina I build or and stuff, the longer distances I can go. I'm at 10 right now. I hope to be at let's say 12 by the end of the week or 12 on Saturday and uh, so on and so forth. I need to get my 16 to 20 miles before the end of this year. That's like I said, that's my goal. Conclusion. So in conclusion, find ways to remain active. Finding ways to remain active is highly important. I believe it is important to have some type of physical activity even with our conditions. Something moderate works for me. Like I said, this is probably the most moderate and I'm probably going to get tired of it because it's going to become easy. But not right as of right now, this is the most moderate thing that I think of, that I can actually think of doing that doesn't just involve like jogging or running. Um, so like I said, get on the bike and just pedal as far as you can go. I wish there was more bike lanes around me as far as like on the street that I live, because I know that this street continues on for a good little while. But if there was like a bike lane just to go down and all come back all the way back up, that'll be nice. Um, what else? And I'll read it one more time. So, in conclusion, finding ways to remain active is highly important. I believe it is important to have some type of physical activity, even with our condition, Marfan syndrome. Sometimes something moderate works for me. And I would say something moderate works for all of us. I'm not a doctor. However, I'm just going to say something moderate will definitely probably work if you're just looking to do something non-extraneous, non-competitive, and just still have a good time while doing it. So thanks for listening, guys. As I go sign off, uh, let's see. Shout out to REI for teaching me everything that I have learned about a bike up to this far. Shout out to the people at the other bike store that taught me how to ride a bike in less than an hour in the parking lot of their store. Um, and just shout out to the Texas Sun for teaching me a lesson to never go out after 4 to ride my bike. And shout out to all the people in the future that are going to teach me more about this whole sport and activity as I dive deeper into it. How to reach me? How to reach me, you guys? Facebook, Twitter or X, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Comment on the YouTube, at me on the Twitter, DM me on the Instagram, and whatever it is that you need to do on the Facebook, because Facebook offers them all. But like I said, I will respond. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to answer all the questions, all the concerns that you may have before jumping into a moderate activity. But with that being said, subscribe, repost, and click that little bell thing on the YouTube so you're notified every time I drop a new video. That'd be great. But I hope you guys learned something today. I hope that you guys go get up, get out, and do something. That you guys pick up a moderate physical activity and notice how much nicer that just it is being outside or whatever the case may be. If you pick up something inside, you buy a Peloton and stick it in your living room. Pretty cool. But with all those things, man, I hope you guys enjoyed today. I'll be back again real soon with another episode. But until then, peace.